virtual learning, man, I tell you what. Anyway, we're going to start off with a bunch of different fall types of recipes, lots of easy chicken dinners, lots of really easy, warm, comforting meals. Honestly, I'm looking for easy things lately because of virtual learning, because of 2020, and just life. Honestly, I just need stuff that's easy and yummy, and I hope that you guys enjoyed all these recipes because they fit all those categories, and they're nice and budget friendly because that's something that is also really important to me. So let's just hop into the dinners. The first one we are starting with is just shredded chicken tacos. I found this recipe on Pinterest, and I'm just throwing 2 chicken breasts in the Instant Pot. I'm using it as a slow cooker. I honestly need a slow cooker again, just because I feel like this doesn't work as well for a slow cooker, but it works enough. Anyway, I'm covering that with some taco seasoning. This is from McCormick, and then we're just going to douse that with more garlic powder, because I literally use garlic powder in every single recipe because garlic is amazing. And then we're going to cover that with some chicken broth. Pop it in, put it on, let it do its thing. Honestly, this cooked really fast because there was only 2 chicken breasts in there, but if you had a bunch of them, it would probably take a lot longer. But this kind of cooked a little bit faster than expected. But once they were nice and fork tender, I took them out, just pulled them apart just really roughly, and then we're going to shred them up. This is the best kitchen hack ever. You use a hand mixer, or you can use a stand mixer if you have one, but I'm just using my KitchenAid hand mixer, shredding it up, and you're going to get perfectly shredded chicken tacos. These were incredible. They were super moist, super delicious. Honestly, the best way to do shredded chicken. The recipe had different ways. You could put some mango salsa. This one's from Great Value. It's delicious on top of it. Or I also saw another recipe that recommended Monterey Jack queso from On the Border on top of it. But honestly, the tacos were so flavorful, they did not need it. So I didn't actually use it. I used the salsa apart just as a topper, and then some shredded cheese, and we had it with some refried beans. And I've been obsessed with tahini, so I put it on just about every fruit I can find. So this is tahini and mango, and that was our dinner. It was super delicious. I highly recommend. Honestly, you can make that shredded chicken any way. It doesn't have to be taco flavored. You could do it with rotisserie. Try it like rotisserie chicken recipe. Honestly, the options are endless. Next, we're gonna go ahead and make a broccoli cheese soup. I'm using all fresh vegetables. We have some shredded carrot, onion, and broccoli. I should have chopped the broccoli up a bit finer. I would recommend doing that, but honestly, it worked out anyway. And then we have a bunch of cheese because we're making a copycat Panera broccoli cheese soup recipe. I'm going to pop it in my large pot here. We're going to start with some butter, melt the butter up, then you're going to go ahead and add your vegetables. My biggest tip right now, or with this, is definitely cook your vegetables down way more than you think you will. I was too scared to cook them down even more, and I should have, because they were still pretty, they like just need to be really mushy in my opinion. I feel like that's what makes it taste really good, and they just weren't. So definitely cook them down more. Then I'm going to go ahead and add my chicken broth, my heavy cream, and then I'm going to season it up. Honestly, this is to your own preference. I use salt and pepper, but you can go back and forth and continue adding to until you get to the seasoning you like. Next, you're going to slowly add flour. Another thing is definitely it up. Next, after all of that's nice and thickened and cooked, we're going to add our shredded cheese and let that melt, and then stir it in, and basically you are done. And then you have your copycat Panera bread soup, broccoli cheese soup. How it came together once the cheese was finally melted. And we had it with these little Bavarian pretzel rolls. These are so good. They're from Walmart, and they are amazing. I highly recommend.
Alright guys, so for tonight for dinner, I'm making like a honey mustard baked chicken. I got this idea off of The Creek Don't Rise. She is so sweet, and she has such good recipes, and I so enjoy watching her channel. You definitely should. I will leave her channel below. Anyway, basically I just took 3 different chicken breasts. I took some garlic powder, paprika, and salt and pepper, and just seasoned them, and then I'm going to dredge them in some of the Sweet Baby Ray's honey mustard. You can use whatever honey mustard you want, or if you want to make your own, or use barbecue, what have you, but I'm just using this for kind of the glue. And then I have a mixture of panko and some flour, and also some more garlic powder and some salt and pepper just to kind of season that up a little bit. And I'm going to dredge these, and then we're going to pop them in the oven and bake them.
Like I already mentioned, we are just popping that honey mustard all over the chicken. No rhyme or reason. We're just going to spread it around with a spatula, flip it over and do the other side, and then dredge it in the flour mixture. I definitely would do more panko next time, lighter on the flour mixture, but these were still super flavorful, really yummy. I really, really liked them. For whatever reason, my ending clip is gone when they came out of the oven and our plate, so you're gonna have to just imagine what they looked like, but they were really good. Definitely make sure you go heavier on the panko, less on the flour, but still really, really yummy. We loved them.
On some baby carrots that I needed to use up on a cookie sheet. I tossed them in some olive oil, some of this Kinder's seasoning, the blend. This is salt, pepper, and garlic. I really, really like this seasoning. It's really good. It's really coarse, which is what I like. And so you really get the full flavor. I just got this at Walmart. I really like it. And then I just put some brown sugar on top to kind of do a sweet and savory kind of roasted carrot. I'm going to pop those in the oven as well as the chicken together at 400 degrees. And we're just going to check them kind of in about like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and see how they are doing. Friends, so to go along the side with our carrots and our chicken, I'm doing some Knorr pasta sides. You guys know I love me some Knorr. This is the chicken flavor ones. I think that when they did grocery pickup, they didn't realize, but they gave me two different ones. So we have chicken flavor broccoli and then chicken flavor. It's gonna be totally fine. I just mix them both together so that it's cooking on the side. Super easy, super cheap. My stovetop is disgusting, ignore that, but that is on the side. We're having it on the side.
Alright, this next recipe I got from Pinterest, but since then it has blown up on YouTube, and it is the queso chili. I, however, make it quite a bit different than the recipes that I've seen. I omit a couple steps and add some things, and this is an incredible recipe. If you make one thing from this video, you need to make this. Basically, you just need to saute up a pound of ground beef to start, as well as some white onion. Back on track. So once all of the ground beef and the onion is all sauteed and cooked down, we're going to drain the beef, and we are going to start adding our kind of drier ingredients. First though, I am basically flavoring up that meat and onion mixture with Worcestershire sauce. This isn't in the recipe, but I highly recommend it. It adds so much flavor. It is so good. And I'm kind of sauteing that up a little bit so the flavors really combine. Then we're going to go ahead and add our diced tomatoes. We are going to add our 2 cans of pinto beans. And then I am using the McCormick slow cooker seasoning mix, but you can use whatever seasonings you want and how you like to make your chili. This is how I normally make mine, and so I really like to add that together. I make those flavors really combine, heat them thoroughly. Then I'm going to go ahead and add the tomatoes, the tomato condensed soup. This really takes it up a notch. And then we're going to add in 2 cans of beef broth. Combine that all together again, really get those flavors really combined and really flavorful, and then we're going to bring it to a boil and add our pasta. This is a 1-pot meal, so it's really easy cleanup, and we're going to take about 2 cups of rotini noodles and let them boil and cook in that chili, and it is just so easy, so good. You guys will not be disappointed. We're going to bring that, continue to boil those noodles, make sure they're cooked thoroughly, and then we're going to add the rest of the ingredients. I go ahead and add more seasonings, more flavors throughout the whole entire cooking process. That's just normally how I make my chili, but you do you. Follow the recipe, don't you figure out what you like best for yourself and for your family. Next, I'm going to make the Zatarain's honey cornbread, I think is what it's called. This is incredible. I highly recommend this cornbread recipe. I like sweet cornbread, and I think it's so good with this chili. So I'm just going to get all those combined and then pop that in the oven. And by the time that is in the oven, it is time to go back and work on our chili. Like I said, I continue to add. I add more Worcestershire sauce. I add a squirt of ketchup. I add a little bit of sugar. I just keep going crazy. We're going to add the whipping cream. So basically, I left off the step of doing the queso chili part, or queso part. I just didn't want to do it. I wanted to try it my way, and I like this way so much. I think adding the chili would have just made it so much thicker. So I added some whipping cream in it to add some creaminess to it. Then I still added butter. I didn't want to miss that step because I thought that would add some even more flavor. Totally did. Then we're going to go ahead and top that. When I got the flavor the way I like it, I top it with the cheese, a little bit of the cheese to melt in it. The cornbread's hot and ready out of the oven, and then all I did was add a little bit more cheese on top, some sour cream. We added Tabasco sauce later too. Guys, this is incredible. I highly recommend it. Like I said, the recipe I got it from is very different from the one I ended up making, but it is so good.
So I'm gonna make some chicken fajitas for dinner tonight. I'm following a recipe from Home Sweet Stephanie here on YouTube. She's such a sweet friend, and this looks incredible. So I'm just gonna chop up 2 bell peppers. I think she uses sweet mini peppers, but I have bell peppers on hand, so I'm using an orange and a red bell pepper, and I'm using a purple onion, and I'm gonna chop it all up. We're gonna season it, and then we're gonna season some chicken. We're gonna pop it in the oven at 400, let me set that, at 400 for about 25 minutes. So let's get started. All right, so I have all of my onions and peppers chopped right here. These are the seasonings that I'm gonna use for both the chicken and the peppers. I'm using a little bit of ranch, a little bit of fajita, garlic powder, and I may use a little bit of this Kinder's regular seasoning blend. This is just salt, pepper, and garlic, and then some olive oil. So that is what I'm going to pop in here, mix it all together, and then we're going to pop it on a sheet pan and get started on the chicken.
Alright, I already pre-mixed the peppers and the onions together with the seasoning. I'm using the same bowl, easy cleanup for the chicken. And then I'm going to mix all of that together with the fajita, the ranch, and the olive oil. And we're going to pop that into the oven as well together on the same pan. Super easy sheet pan dinner. Love it. If you already have pre-made seasonings, if you don't want to use packaged seasonings, you do you. Season how you like. This is just what works for our family.
Alright, so I added everything like I did to the vegetables for the chicken. I know raw chicken's not cute, I know. But now I'm just going to take some lime juice, and I'm just going to squeeze that to add a lot of nice, fun, bright citrus. This is what Stephanie suggested doing, and it sounds great. That's the only thing that I've changed between the veggies and the chicken.
Guys, this was so yummy, and I know this is kind of more of like a summery type of vibe meal, but this is so inexpensive and such an easy, really, really quick weeknight dinner. I highly recommend trying it out if you haven't already. It is so good. I want to make it again. I just had it with a little bit of cheese and then some avocado chopped up on top, and guys, I'm telling you, you have to do it. It was so yummy. Everyone else loved it as well. Delicious. Next, we're going to move on to Ritz chicken recipe, and I'm going to make the roasted potatoes. I just chopped up some, I was going to say Baby Bella, yellow golden potatoes, patted them dry. Then we're going to add in some olive oil, and I'm going to also go ahead and add plenty of other seasonings. I use lots of garlic powder as per usual. I go ahead and use some pepper, and then a little bit of, I believe, seasoned salt. Probably Himalayan salt. I think that's what my mom has because we were having dinner at my mom's this night. So I think it was Himalayan sea salt, something like that. Anyway, but I seasoned it up really well, and then I'm going to go ahead and add in ranch dressing. I know I keep using ranch, but we're American, we're Southern, that's what we do. So we're going to flavor these potatoes with ranch. So good, really yummy. They came out super crispy and delicious. And then we're going to move on to the chicken recipe. So this is a Ritz chicken recipe, but this time it's with cheddar added. So you need 2 full sleeves of Ritz crackers, 3 cups of shredded cheddar cheese, and then you will also need 1 cup of just regular milk. Let me just say that we tried this with really thick shredded cheddar. We hand shredded it, but you definitely need it to be a bit finer. It needs to be almost like the Ritz consistency, so definitely recommend it going in a food processor or food chopper, or really grating it really super fine. It just makes it taste better. We made it a second time and it works better that way. Next, you're going to dredge the chicken in the milk, dredge it in the cheddar, and then you see it's a little bit too coarse, so you definitely need it to be a bit finer, but it still totally worked. It still was delicious. Who am I kidding? And then you're going to finish it off in the Ritz crackers topping, and then you pop it on a baking sheet, or in this case my mom used her Copper Chef pan, and then she just topped it with a little bit more of the seasoning of the Ritz. Just make it a little extra crunchy, a little extra delicious, and these were super easy. I have tried the Ritz chicken recipe, but this one was so good. I loved the cheese. It got kind of caramelized and crispy. It was really, really good. You're going to see it here at the end, but here are the potatoes that came out. Delicious. Highly recommend that recipe as well. If you've never tried ranch on your potatoes, you're missing out. And here's how the chicken turned out. Guys, so good. Kids loved it. I loved it. Everyone loved it.